Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Divedi, and in this segment today, we bring to you objective questions on a daily basis to help you crack prelims. So let's begin with the practice question of the last segment. Consider the following statements regarding Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. It is a regional economic forum established in 2000 to leverage the growing interdependence of the Asia Pacific. It aimed to create greater prosperity for the people of the region by promoting balanced, inclusive, sustainable, innovative, and secure growth, and by accelerating regional economic integration. So we have to select the correct statement. The first statement is incorrect. Although it is a regional economic forum to leverage the growing interdependence of the Asia Pacific, but it was not established in 2000 but 1989. Second is correct. The correct answer to this question is option B. New Zealand is hosting this year's Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. It is a regional economic forum which was established in 1989. The aim is to create greater prosperity for the people of the region by promoting balanced, inclusive, sustainable, innovative, and secure growth, and by accelerating regional economic integration. The members include 21 member economies, namely Australia, Brunei Darussalam, Canada, Chile, People's Republic of China, Hong Kong, that is China, Indonesia, Japan, Republic of Korea, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Peru, the Philippines, the Russian Federation, Singapore, Chinese Taipei, Thailand, United States of America, and Vietnam. Moving on, consider the following statements. The central theme of the Maoist ideology is the use of violence and armed insurrection as a means to capture state power. Maoism and Naxalism are one and the same thing. We have to select the correct statement. Both the statements are correct. The correct answer is option C. The recent Gadchiroli encounter, in which 26 members of the outlawed Communist Party of India Maoist were neutralized, was a severe blow to the Naxals' urban and jungle networks in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. Left-wing extremism or left-wing extremists, which are popularly known as the Maoists worldwide and as Naxalites in India. Therefore, they both are one and the same thing. Moving on to the next statement, that is the central theme of the Maoist ideology is the use of violence and armed insurrection as a means to capture state power. The term Naxalism derives its name from the village Naxalbari of West Bengal. It originated as a rebellion against local landlords who bashed a peasant over a land dispute. The movement has spread the eastern India in less developed areas of the states such as Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. Moving on, consider the following statements. The Air Quality Index is an index for reporting air quality over a long period of time. Ground level ozone and airborne particles are the two pollutants that pose the greatest threat to human health in India. Now we have to select the correct statement. The first statement, although it is incorrect, it might add to the air quality of a longer period of time, but it will give us the daily reporting of the air quality of an area. So the first statement is incorrect. The second is correct. The correct answer is option B, that is 2 only. The air quality in the capital has remained at the severe levels. Recently, the Delhi government, in a move to control local sources of air and dust pollution, decided to close educational institutions and ban construction activities while encouraging work from home. The AQI is an index for reporting daily air quality. It focuses on health effects one might experience within a few hours or days after breathing polluted air. AQI is calculated for 8 major pollutants: ground level ozone, particulate matter 10, particulate matter 2.5. Carbon monoxide is also a part of it. Sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ammonia, and lead. Ground level ozone and airborne particles are the two pollutants that pose the greatest threat to human health in India. Moving on, consider the following statements. The Central Bureau of Investigation is a statutory body. The Santhanam Committee recommended the establishment of the CBI. CBI is under the administrative control of Ministry of Home Affairs. We have to select the correct statement. The first statement is incorrect. CBI is not a statutory body, and the Sandhanam Committee recommended the establishment of CBI. This is correct. CBI doesn't come under the Ministry of Home Affairs, but Ministry of Personnel and Public Grievances. So first and third are incorrect. Second is correct. The correct answer is option B. Recently, the President of India promulgated 2 ordinances that would allow the Union government to extend the tenures of the directors of the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate from 2 to 5 years. The CBI was set up in 1963 by a resolution of the MHA, that is the Ministry of Home Affairs. It is not a statutory body, although it derives its powers from the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act of 1946. The establishment of CBI was recommended by the Sandhanam Committee on Prevention of Corruption. The CBI comes under the administrative control of the Department of Personnel and Training of the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. Moving on, which of the following can be termed as the components of the balance of payments? Current account, capital account, errors and omissions, foreign exchange reserves. So we have to select the correct answer. All these are a component of the balance of payment. So the correct answer is option D. According to a recent report by the British brokerage Barclays, India's trade deficit has been jumping continuously since July 2021. For preparing the balance of payment accounts, economic transactions between a country and the rest of the world are grouped under current account, capital account and errors and omissions. It also shows changes in foreign exchange reserves. Current account shows exports and imports of visibles, also called merchandise or goods, represent trade balance, and invisible, also called non-merchandise. Invisibles include services, transfers and income. Capital account shows a capital expenditure and income for a country. It gives a summary of the net flow of both private and public investment into an economy. External commercial borrowings, foreign direct investment, foreign portfolio investment form a part of the capital account. Errors and omissions, as sometimes the balance of the payments does not balance. The imbalance is shown in the BOP as errors and omissions, reflecting the country's inability to record all international transactions accurately. Moving on, changes in foreign exchange reserves, that is the movements in the reserves, comprises changes in the foreign currency assets held by the Reserve Bank of India and also in special drawing rights balances. Moving on, consider the following statements. It was given by Alfred Wegener in 1912. All the continents formed a single continental mass called Pangaea. There existed a mega ocean called Panthalassa that surrounded the Pangaea. So we have to select from among the given options the most appropriate theory. So the correct answer to this question would be option A, that is continental drift theory. A new study has suggested that the earliest continental landmass emerged 3.2 billion years ago instead of 2.5 billion years ago, as per the continental drift theory, which deals with the distribution of the oceans and the continents, first suggested by a German meteorologist Alfred Wegener in 1912. And according to this theory, all the continents, they formed a single continental mass. Pangaea and mega ocean Panthalassa surrounded it. Around 200 million years ago, Pangaea started splitting and broke down into 2 large continental masses as Laurasia and Gondwana land, forming the northern and southern components respectively. Subsequently, Laurasia and Gondwana land continued to break into various smaller continents that exist today. Moving on, consider the following statements. The 15th of November every year will be celebrated as the Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. Bhagwan Birsa Munda Smriti Udyan Sah Swatantrata Senani Sangrahalaya is situated in Odisha. 15th of November is also celebrated as the State Formation Day of Jharkhand. So we have to select the correct statement. The first statement is correct. Today is the birth anniversary of Bhagwan Birsa Munda, the 15th of November. Now, because of that, will be celebrated every year as Janjatiya Gaurav Divas. Second statement is incorrect because the Sangrahalaya is situated in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Third is correct. 15th of November is celebrated as the State Formation Day of Jharkhand. The correct answer should be 1 and 3, that is option B. The nation will celebrate the birth anniversary of tribal freedom fighter Bhagwan Birsa Munda as Janjatiya Gaurav Divas today. All preparations were made for the inauguration of Bhagwan Birsa Munda Smriti Udyan Sah Swatantrata Senani Sangrahalaya by Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. Spread across an area of 38 acres of land, the state-of-the-art Bhagwan Birsa Munda Smriti Udyan Sah Swatantrata Senani Sangrahalaya is in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Today happens to be the State Foundation Day as well. Moving on, Rani Kamlapati railway station recently seen in the news is situated in which of the following states? Rani Kamlapati railway station is situated in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the redeveloped Rani Kamlapati railway station in Bhopal around 3 p.m. on his visit to Madhya Pradesh today. The redeveloped Rani Kamlapati railway station, named after brave and fearless Queen Kamlapati of the Gond Kingdom, is the first world-class railway station in Madhya Pradesh. Redeveloped in public-private partnership model, the station has been designed as a green building with modern world-class amenities that also take into account ease of mobility for Divyangjans. The station is also developed as a hub for integrated multimodal transport. Moving on, consider the following statements with respect to the Commission for Air Quality Management. The Commission is headed by a full-time chairperson who has been a secretary to the Government of India or a chief secretary to a state government. If its directions are contravened, the Commission will have the power to impose a fine of up to ₹1 crore and imprisonment of up to 5 years. So we have to select the correct statement. Both these statements are correct. The correct answer to this question is option C. The Commission for Air Quality Management in NCR and adjoining areas, CAQM, convened a crucial meeting on an emergent basis yesterday in wake of deteriorating air quality of the Delhi NCR region. The Commission for Air Quality Management in the National Capital Region is a statutory authority which came into existence by an ordinance. Through the ordinance, the centre has also dissolved the Environment Pollution Authority for the NCR. The Commission is headed by a full-time chairperson who has been a secretary to the Government of India or a chief secretary to a state government. If its directions are contravened, the Commission will have the power to impose a fine of up to ₹1 crore and imprisonment of up to 5 years. Moving on to the next question. Which sport will make a debut at the 2022 Commonwealth Games? The correct answer to this question is option D, that is women's cricket. India will face Australia in the opening match when women's cricket makes its debut at the 2022 Commonwealth Games on July 29 next year. The final will be played on August 7th. Event organizers announced today that women's cricket is making its debut at the Commonwealth Games with the T20 format. Which of the following is the first published novel of Wilbur Smith? The correct answer to this question is option A, When the Lion Feeds. World-renowned writer Wilbur Smith died at his home in South Africa on Saturday, aged 88. During his decades-long career as a writer, Smith authored 49 novels and sold over 140 million copies worldwide in more than 30 languages. Wilbur Addison Smith was a North Rhodesia-born South African British novelist specializing in historical fiction about the international involvement in Southern Africa across 4 centuries, seen from the viewpoints of both black and white families. An accountant by training, he gained a film contract with his first published novel, When the Lion Feeds. Moving on to the practice question for the next segment. Consider the following statements regarding Caesar-e-Hind butterfly. Caesar-e-Hind, that is Tinopalpus imperialis, literally means Emperor of India. This butterfly is only found in India along the eastern Himalayas at the elevations from 6,000 to 10,000 feet. It has been declared as the state butterfly of Arunachal Pradesh. So we have to select the correct statement. I hope you'll be answering it correctly. That's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.